I went to a convention in DC last month, and as we were taking our seats, John, the MC, started the program. And we learned there were 80,000 people in attendance. So John had a big job. He had to keep all these people entertained for an entire day, but they were here to listen to a very unusual subject. John was there to prove that blondes are not stupid. Everyone was very anxious to hear what he had to say. So he began the program by asking for a volunteer, and out of sheer luck, he called my friend Lynn to the stage. So Lynn gets up there and he wanted to start off easy. So he said, "Lynn, what's 15 plus 15? And she said, 18. Oh my God. The crowd was silent. They were so disappointed. You see, all 80,000 of them were blonde. And they were there to prove that blondes that are intelligent has nothing to do with their hair color. Suddenly, the crowd started chanting, "Give her a chance! Give her a chance!" John wasn't sure what to do. He didn't know if he was doing more harm than good, but he just decided to go for it. So I said, "Okay, Lynn, what's 2 plus 2? Lynn's like, 4. Pandemonium broke out in the audience. People jumped to their feet, they waved their hands, and they shouted, "Give her a chance! Give her a chance!" How many times have we heard dumb blonde jokes in our life? Hundreds. But this is a category of joke that's universally funny. So today we'll look a little bit at this genre, we'll look at a few fun facts, and some of my favorite dumb blonde characters. Okay, how did the blonde get her raking leaves? She fell out of the tree. So I'm going to ask you a question. I would like you to say your answer out loud. If you were writing a screenplay and you had a dumb blonde character, what would you name that character in your screenplay?
Marilyn.
Phoebe. Blondie.
Okay. Everybody said a female name. When we think of dumb blondes, we think of females. We don't think of Owen Wilson. In my opinion, there's a direct correlation between that and the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. It starred Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell. When we think of the dumb blonde, we think of Marilyn Monroe's character. Now there was this study done, this was an actual study, and there was a group of people and they were given a Trivial Pursuit type of test. They took the test the first time. They were shown a picture of a brunette, they took the test. They were then shown a picture of a blonde, and they took the test. Universally, men, women, it did not matter what age you were, after they saw the picture of the blonde, they tested more poorly. I don't know what to make of it, but I can tell you, if you have something important to do, don't be in the proximity of a blonde while you do it. And then there's the Clairol ad in the 50s, and this was a brilliant ad. The slogan was, "Is it true that blondes have more fun?" It was so effective it ran for 12 years, so well into the 60s, and it's permeated our culture. It's part of what we say today. So I don't know who the marketing firm was that came up with that, but they earned every penny of their fee that Clairol paid them. Okay, a dumb blonde, excuse me, this is just a regular blonde. She was bragging that she knew all the capitals of the states. She said, "Go ahead, ask me, I know them all." And redhead's like, "All right, I'll bite. What's the capital of Wyoming?" And she said, "Capital W, of course." So let's look at some great dumb blonde characters. We're going to start with my favorite, who is Betty White. Betty White as Rose Nyland in The Golden Girls, hands down my favorite dumb blonde character. But you may be more partial to someone like Miss Piggy from Sesame Street, or Suzanne Summers' character, Chrissy Snow in Three's Company. But you may not have thought about the mother-daughter duo of Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn, something that's pretty rare. But the blonde character has changed over time too. For instance, in the movie Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon, she starts out as ditzy, but at the end, she's the smartest person in the room of lawyers. Or Cameron Diaz in Something About Mary, she's the only smart person in a whole cast of dim-witted people. So the framework of the blonde has changed a little bit over time, but it's still those dumb blonde characters that stay with us. For example, in Golden Girls, there are 4 main characters. There's Blanche, Sophia, Dorothy, and Rose. Betty White plays the Rose character. But the writers gave Rose the great running gag through the whole series. And it was 7 years, so for 7 years, Rose had the running gag of one time in St. Olaf, and you knew when you heard that you were going to have a gem of a story. So do I think blondes are dumb? No. 90% of them come from a bottle. But I do know that Marilyn Monroe and Clairol have had a big impact what we think about the dumb blonde over the last 60 years. But you also learned something very serious today. Do not, I repeat, do not do anything important in the proximity of a blonde. Tell your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, your family to just stay away. I'll leave you with a quote from Dolly Parton. And she was asked if she was offended by dumb blonde jokes. And she says, no, I'm not offended because I know I'm not dumb. And then she also said, I'm not blonde. Thank you.